chapter 20. We'll begin there, a couple of verses to encourage us. We've got some good news this morning and some bad news.
Oh dear.
Good news and bad news. I'm going to give you the bad news first, okay? But I think the good news will overflow that. And we can leave here encouraged. So I'm going to do the, I think so, the bad news first. Revelation chapter 20. We'll begin at verse number 8. And it shall go out and to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth.
Gog and Magog.
Gog and Magog.
To gather them together to battle.
Yes.
The number of whom is as the sand of the sea.
I might read on.
And they went up on the breadth of the earth,
Yes.
and compassed the camp of the saints about,
All right.
and the beloved city.
Beloved city.
And fire came down from God out of heaven,
All right.
and devoured them. And the devil
And
that
the devil
deceived them
deceived them.
was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are,
Yes.
and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever.
So again, a couple of high points here. Notice that these spirits and the devils are as the sand of the sea. Can you imagine
My
that?
Lord.
Wow. And they're compassing God's people in verse 9. And the devil that deceives them. I thought this morning, the devil is alive and well, saints of God. I mean, that's just a fact. Now, some groups don't believe that. Unitarian Universalists don't believe that. A few others. But the devil is real. I mean, there's no doubt about that. We've got to acknowledge that fact to know who the enemy actually is. The enemy is not our wife, not amen, Trump per se, not our mayor. The enemy is the devil himself, right? And the Bible lets us know what his modus operandi is and how he works. He does basically three things, isn't that right? He comes to steal, kill, and what? Destroy. Now, well, let's be honest this morning. We have to acknowledge that in some of our lives, the devil has done some stealing in some of our lives.
Yes.
In my life.
Yes.
In my sister's life. He's done some very horrendous and filthy things in my life. And I've seen him work in children.
My God.
I've seen him work in adults.
My Lord.
I've seen him work in doctors. I've seen him work in preachers. The devil is alive and also well, unfortunately. And he comes to steal. You notice, the day Christ died, there were two thieves on the cross. The devil had got to their minds to steal things. And they got caught. How do you know you can't hide from God? You don't know that? You can't hide. You might hide from the law, hide from the judge, but you can't hide nothing from God. His eyes go in the earth and see who heart toward him. So these thieves got caught and they got killed. One of them for stealing. But the thief who sensed who God was, he said, Lord, remember me. You come to your paradise. I pray that too. Lord, remember me. I'm a short little bald-headed guy, not worth nothing, but remember me. Today, dear one, somebody go through some hard tests now today. We're going to pray in a little while for God to help all of us. You come on up so God can do what? Remember you. He'll remember what you're going through. The many tears that you've been crying. How your heart has been broken. Because while the devil's at work, the devil's at work. You all know that. Even right now in this room, he is at work right now.
My God.
So yes, he comes to steal. The devil stole my youth, that you all know. Had me on the streets, in drugs, had me locked up in jail, and embarrassment to my parents. Who did that? The devil. I helped out, but it was the devil mostly. Because he come to steal your good name, steal your children, steal your wife, steal your soul if you're not careful. So he comes to steal. He'll steal your faith.
My God.
Your belief in God.
My God.
But you all know
Yes,
that.
sir.
He will steal your faith.
Yes, sir.
He's a thief, a maniac. He's still respect for your parents. He's still a love for your wife. He's a liar and a thief. And also he come to kill.
Yes.
That's right.
He come to kill. You know, in Africa, there's much turmoil, you all know that.
Yeah.
But there's one country that has my heart, and that's called Sierra Leone. 1 million people, a little less. And then when recently, the past 12 years, they are fighting against one another.
Yeah.
Now, they don't have a lot of M16s and Tech 9s. What they use is machetes.
Yeah.
All right? And brother, they just don't hack off the soldiers' arms, or the grandmother's arms, or the pregnant women's arms. They're hacking off the children's arms.
That's right.
Nothing was so sad to me but to see a 3-year-old child with her both her arms hacked off by some military man.
My God.
Brother, these guys are grabbing children and just break their arms up and break their arms, and they're just crying out. I mean, what kind of man is going to beat on a little 10-year-old boy? That's the devil's work. And that's why he's alive and well. To abuse and misuse children. To abuse and misuse our young people. To abuse our government. They're trying to abuse you this morning. Praise the Lord.
Oh, yes.
The devil's alive and well.
Yes, he are.
Many are sick. You know why? The devil. But I thank God he came to heal us. You all know that. God is a healer.
Thank you. Thank God. Thank you.
I've seen God heal many, many times.
Yes, God.
Amen.
Right here, I've seen God, amen, heal, amen, headaches, high blood pressure. Oh, if you can believe God this morning, he can change things. Because prayer changes.
Thank God. Thank you, Lord. Yes, sir.
So yes, Sierra Leone is in civil war off and on for the past years. And then it's just, they cut parts off and hold them up on the sides of their spears. They'll hang it up. They're cutting off ears, private parts, arms, and they hold it up. And that is the work of the devil.
Yes, it is.
The devil loves to destroy families. You all know that.
Amen.
To divide churches. Did you all know that?
Yes.
That's how he works. At the workplace.
That's right.
And also he comes to destroy.
Yes, he did. Yes, he
In 1943, there were a series of scientists, nuclear scientists, theoretical scientists. Oppenheimer was the head scientist there. Einstein worked for him. He was only 45 years old. He's a genius. But they created an atom bomb. We were at war with Japan. We had bombed Pearl Harbor. They sent the bomb over there, and that bomb dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And in 15 minutes, 300,000 were dead. They went there to see it, and it was totally catastrophic. They went, everybody, children, pregnant women, died through the burning of uranium.
Yes, they did. Yes.
Oh, that's the devil's work.
Oh, yeah.
That's the devil's work.
Amen.
So yes, he comes to steal, kill, and destroy. But then our only defense, education is good.
Yeah.
Counseling is good.
Yeah.
Strong government is good, but it takes God to fight the devil off. You all know it takes God.
Amen.
1 John 4:4, you know it by heart, I'm sure you do. We'll turn it, for discussion's sake, you know it by heart. 1 John 4:4, the Bible says, ye are of God, little children,
And have overcome them, because greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world.
Greater is he that is in you.
That's right.
And he is the what? In the world.
In the world.
Then when God is great.
Yes, you are.
Amen, please.
Amen.
In fact, God is the greatest.
Amen. That's
And whatever comes your way, if you say from sin, you can't overcome it.
That's right.
I said you can overcome it.
Amen.
God in you, you can overcome it. You might be a pretty girl, overcome it. Handsome man, overcome it. Church leaders, overcome it. False teachers, overcome it. Habit, overcome it. Addiction, overcome it. Racism, overcome it. Hate, overcome it. Past, overcome it. doubt we don't the devil no more, thank the Lord. I can do all things through Christ.
Christ strengthen me. Thank God.
The Bible says he will keep you from what? Falling, thank the Lord.
Yes.
Now we know better that you don't have to fall. You don't have to give in.
Yes.
Side note, let me say this as a question. What we move on. Can anyone here in this church building name me one sin that you must commit? I've asked this question in Alaska, Jamaica, California, Southern Pacific, South Pacific, everywhere that I've been. I'm asking in my 25th year now. Is there one sin that we must commit? I've asked it in Macon, Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, around the south here, Florida. Is there one sin? And sin is wrongdoing. The Bible says he didn't know to do good, and he did not him his sin, James 4:17. So is there a sin that you must commit? Think about it for the next 3 seconds. 1, 2, as they say, 2.5, 2 3/4. Think about it for just 1 second before I go on. I don't want dissertation. I don't want what grandfather's uncle's friend's cousin said. I'm just asking you, as an individual, this morning, as a friend of mine, is there just one sin that you must commit? We must be honest and say there is not. And that's what God does for us.
Amen.
He saves us from sin, not in sin. We have a choice to sin or not to sin. The devil cannot make you sin. And God won't force you to be saved. You and I have a choice. But as for me and my house, I'm going to do what? Serve the Lord. I said, I'm going to serve the Lord. I can give up to sin business. But doing sin is a business. The wages of sin is what? Death. On your job, they pay you what? $35 an hour, right? $35 an hour? $40 an hour? $20 an hour? But you get paid on your payday, right? You might get paid twice a month or every week. But you work to get paid. Well, when you sin, you're going to get paid. And that's going to be death, separation from God. So he comes to steal, kill. Now, on your home, you might have bars on the doors. You might have a Rottweiler or a German Shepherd. Or you might have a 44 Magnum in your closet. You might have a rifle behind the back door. Amen. Like one second. Someone here does. But you got protection, right? To protect your house. You want to protect this house also too. And what protects this house is Christ all by himself. Greater is he. I said greater is he. That is in what? In the Word. Isaiah 54:17. So friends, in order to have that protection and the power that Christ had, you've got to be saved from sin. You've got to be a child of God. Not a preacher, a teacher, but got to be saved from something to something. Jesus said, John 5:14, go and sin no more. 8:11, go and sin no more. Psalm 4:4, arise and sin not. On and on and on. Sins of the devil, 1 John 3:5-9. So sin is the problem. I want to blame Trump. I want to blame Rickard, blame my mother, but my problem with me is sin the devil. But you all know that's the problem. The devil did not put that weed in your mouth 20 years ago. The devil did not put that tequila in your tequila cup 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Did he? You didn't slap him upside the head. You did that, isn't that right? Let the church say amen, please. Come on now. I'm talking about myself here.
Yeah, we did.
But although we did wrong, we can change, isn't that right?
Thank God. Amen.
Amen. Brother, in the autumn time, trees change, don't they? Their leaves fall off, isn't that right?
Yeah.
Peaches fall.
Yeah.
If God can change the trees, can he change you and I? Thank God. Amen. If any man be in Christ, he's a new creature. All things and all things become what? New. Thank God. You walk different. You talk different. Your texts are different. No more internet pornography. No more dirty books, thank God.
Amen.
You got pure eyes. Praise the Lord this morning. 54, please.
No weapon,
No weapon
that is formed against thee shall prosper.
The devil might try to get weapons against you.
Amen.
And try to attack your health. Attack your children.
Yeah.
Attack your grandchildren. Attack your wife, whoever. The devil has a plan for all mankind to destroy them. But God got a plan too. And no weapon
That is formed against thee shall prosper. And every tongue that shall rise against thee.
And every tongue, when they talk about you
My God.
and try to run your name down. And some folks believe it, sometimes don't they? They believe what's said sometimes. That's all right, we don't believe it.
And every tongue that shall rise against thee, in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness is of me, saith the Lord.
Heritage. That's part of what God gives you. So doing this morning, yes, the devil's alive and well. To say he's not, you know, we were reading about, and talking about this woman. She was, of course, psychotic, and she admitted to killing this man. She admitted it. She brought him to her house, tempted him, this and that happened. And then she went off, and she beat him for about 2 days straight.
My God.
And she pulled his teeth out of his head with pieces of pliers. And would cut one finger off at a time. So she had to just watch that. And he finally died. And she said, I did it. And there's no remorse at all.
My God.
Because he was a snitch, so I didn't it. See, well, that's the devil's word.
Yes, yes.
But the devil came to steal. But Christ wanted to give you life, and that what? More abundantly.
Thank you, Lord.
And he's got that right now.
Thank God.
Today, for whoever will. No, we don't want you to join no church. We're not after that. We want you to join Christ to have the power you need.
Amen.
He'll give you power to take away sin. Sin takes your power. Sin takes your family. Sin takes your mind. Sin takes your heart. Steals your love from your wife and vice versa. Sin does all that. Get sin out of your life. Show them the exit. Get up out of here. But only God can empower to do that. I know friends of mine that want to get out of sin and just can't do it.
My God.
I was there 30 years ago. I wanted to stop, but I couldn't stop. And what I thought was fun wasn't fun anymore. Because I couldn't give it up. This morning, if you can't give it up and want to give it up, let God take it from you. Praise the Lord. Not denomination, not some preacher. God does that all by himself. He'll take away bitterness. He'll take away judgmentalism. He'll take away broken hearted. God does that. Praise the Lord.
God.
Amen.
He'll take away that harshness against your wife, that coldness against your wife, that difficulty in the home. He'll take it away. And is that not love?
Amen.
He'll take away that thing that's got your mind almost ready to burst. Some people are that far pathetic. Amen. The devil's pushed him. And pressure. When pressure is real.
Yeah, yes, it is.
Pressure is real. It can burst pipes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Tear down buildings. Pressure. Oil pressure. Gas pressure. Mental pressure. So this morning, we want to pray with you. It's time to pray. Let's don't put it off anymore. And you'll be glad you did come to pray.
Amen.
Because how many know prayer changes things? You
Amen. Yes, it does.
And today is your day. Today is your time.
Amen. Thank God.
And God give you mercy for this time.
Thank God.
You could have died in that car accident.
And that's right. Yes, sir.
That dance floor.
Yes, sir.
When you went to sleep at the wheel that one day. But God was driving your car for you. To bring to this moment. Because we all need help. You all know that.
Amen.
I need help.
True. Yes,
You
sir.
don't need help,
Yes,
you got to
sir.
see. Because the devil is alive and well. And you cannot fight him without God.
Amen.
Okay? So tomorrow morning, I'm going to go play basketball against, what's his name with the beard now? What's the man's name? You know the basketball, what's his name? The big guy.
No.
No, Jordan. What's his
The
name?
last one. Cavaliers. LeBron James.
LeBron. I said, come on, LeBron. I'm going to hit up with you, man. Full court. Come on, LeBron. My name is Prince Moon. Full court. That'd be a joke. I could do about half a court and fall down sweating. It would be a joke. In fact, it was that. There's no way. There's no way. I said, come on, big wrestler. We're going to wrestle 15 rounds. There's no way. How about Ali? Come on. I'm going to go with you. Come on, devil. I can fight you. He's had, close with this. The devil's had 10,000 years of experience.
My God.
Yeah.
He brought down the first man.
My God.
A man after God's own heart.
That's right.
The wisest man.
That's right.
The
Strongest.
strongest, who was what? Samson. The strongest, the wisest, the first man, David. And you think you and I can outdo them?
My God.
It's time to be saved from sin, friends.
Amen.
Let's pray about it.
Yes, my God.
And let's get help from God. Let's stand.
Yes.
Let's come on down and pray about it. Come, whoever you are, just come on down. We don't join church here. We just ask for prayer for help. Whoever you are.
Thank you.
Whoever you need help from that pornography addiction. And that is an addiction.
Yes, it is.
I've been counseling now for about 25 years, and that is a definite, it has a powerful inherent, the addiction power. Come on down, man. Can you do that? Maybe you want healing for your body. Let's begin that process of prayer. Maybe there's a temper. Maybe you have a rage sometime. Go off. Let's pray about that. Maybe there's a proclivity for wrong. I don't know wrong, but yeah, but there's a bent toward it. There's a pulling there. And sooner or later it's going to happen. There's a man who has the record for the biggest sailfish in the world, 1,000 pounds. It took him about 3 hours to get in 3 hours. And the fish would go, come, die. I mean, Grand Canyon. Yeah. But he finally got him in. The devil, I don't know, I'm not going to do it. You might get away for a while, but you can feel that tug. There's a tug, there's a pulling there. Something pulling you. And after a while, he'll bring you in. But let God cut the cord, praise the Lord.
Yes.
Let God purify your heart. Let him purify your heart. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but he'll purify your heart. Because out of the heart come murders and thefts and all that.
Amen.
Matthew 5. Blessed are the pure in heart, they will see God. Matthew 5 says that. And God will do that too. So whatever we are in need, God will help. Would you come on down, please?
Yes.
The song lets us know, amen. The old slave ship owner, he wrote a song that came out of the depths of his soul. He says, I once was lost. Now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. He said, amazing grace.
How sweet.
How sweet the sound. It saved the best life. I once was lost. Now I'm found. Oh, was blind. And some here this morning was out blind. But the shockingest part is you don't know you're blind. You don't know it until God gives light. Those sitting in darkness saw a great light. So as we prepare to pray, if you want to come on down, let me pray with you, please. Would you allow me that? Small pleasure to pray with you. Would you allow me to do that? Would you come on? I want to pray with you this morning. Wherever you are, come on down, please. Let me pray with you.
Amen. Amen.
And we'll spend time talking to the one who loves you the most.
Amen. Amen.
The one who died for you and paid the price to sin. You see, you couldn't pay for it.
Amen.
One sin can destroy a whole nation. A study was done years ago. The average person, 300,000 sins they commit. You can't pay for one. What about the rest of them? Christ will pay for them. Already paid for them. Paid in full.
Yes.
That's good news to me. Paid in full. So we had good news. Bad news. The good news is paid in full. Praise the Lord. Right, we can be seated. We'll say a word of prayer for you this morning.